So here in roughly, let's see, 2 months. Right now it's roughly January 15th, and about the middle of March, we expect that these trees are going to be in full bloom. And at that point, we've already had bees acclimating in this orchard. We typically bring bees in anywhere between middle February to March 1st to allow them to get situated out here. Our beekeeper, of whom we sell their honey for them, they bring their bees in, they feed them, and then once the flowers start to develop out here and these trees start to bloom, bees go out, and what their role is to take pollen from the pistil and apply it to the stamen. And that happens by way of when the bees are flying around harvesting pollen for themselves. They get some pollen stuck to themselves, and they're essentially just moving it around.
Yeah.
They don't know that they're doing us a huge favor.
They're accidentally
like that.
spreading the seed.
Yeah. They're by just happen chance doing us a huge favor, and it's pretty critical to our operation. Sometimes, and it's a real balance. We want to make sure that we have the bees in here for a specific amount of time to do their job. If we have really, really good pollination weather, in other words, if it's like 50 degrees and plus, no wind, no rain, we have full bloom out here, we'll actually pull the bees out of here sooner because we don't want to overset the crop. So that, bees play an important role, and at the same time, we don't want to overdo it at the same time. But it's really, really pretty cool to see these bees come in and do the work, and then also to be able to sell the honey is a big deal because, ultimately we're kind of creating this entire cycle with what we're doing out here in these orchards.
Yes, it's building out the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
One by one. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So I know online, we have bees that are pollinating from different flowers themselves.
Yep.
Can you tell me a little bit about that process, of going to a sage,
Right.
Flower versus a different type of flower.
Right. Well, one is the California wildflower. That is primarily from California agriculture. So what I mean by that is our beekeeper, they start in February. They put the beehives in almond orchards, and then the bees go out and they pollinate almond orchards. And then as they're going around doing the work, a lot of almond orchards have cover crop in them. In other words, there's intentionally planted plants in the middle of the rows with flowers. So there's this mix of all types of different wildflowers that those particular bees take in to create their honey. Those bees are then moved into cherries, then moved into other crops like pumpkins and squash, and it just goes on and on and on throughout the entire growing season as to what particular crop needs pollination. So that's the California wildflower. And you take sage blossom. This is a specific apiary that's kind of like a microclimate, whereas the bees are only going to sage blossoms. And sage blossoms, what they do, and the exact chemistry behind it, I don't know, but I find it really fascinating that Mother Nature will do this, is the honey that's developed from sage blossom, that honey doesn't harden. So a lot of times, you get that, that proverbial like bear honey that everything gets stuck in there. It's like, I can't get this out, and you have to put it in a microwave, and then the plastic melts, and it's just like this huge thing.
Or you're smashing a spoon into it.
Right. So sage blossom is fantastic if you're thinking like, I want to like keep this honey for a long time or gift it or what have you. That's a good one there. And then there's the Kauai wildflower, and that's associated with bees that are in on the island of Kauai, and their function there is just to develop honey and don't have a particular job to like pollinate orchards or what have you. But they're going around and finding the tropical wildflowers, and great flavor from that honey.
So we know the consistency is different. Can you tell the difference in taste between flowers?
Yeah, I find that the Kauai wildflower is much sweeter.
Interesting. So there's a whole world of honey variations.
Oh yeah.
Just by the flower itself that I think I mean, that definitely opened my eyes
Yep.
as far as like, wow, we haven't even touched the surface
Right.
of, I mean, the honey industry, but also, um, what they eat
Yep.
or how, where they get their nutrients
Right.
from and how it affects flavor and texture and whatnot.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, there's a plethora out there, and it's really exciting to be a part of that and to offer the different flavors of honey, because of ultimately what the bees are feeding on, and just allows for at least me when I'm tasting these different types of honeys to increases my curiosity to just understand what is behind it that makes these flavors different. So yeah, it's a neat thing. For
That was
sure.
good, man.
Yeah.